Welcome. Thank you for joining me. We're at our typical starting spot in Niagara Falls. Once in a while I go somewhere different, but just out for a walk today, a little bit earlier than the sunset. It's interesting here because the way that the sun sets, it actually disappears long behind those buildings. We're at least half an hour before sunset. Big ups, yeah. Scratch your PPA. Thanks for being here, Canadian Family Life. Good to see you in the house. Yeah, so it's a bit of a weird look because we almost feel like sunset, right? It's kind of the way it looks around here, but it's not quite. But we'll see how things look. And I'll be out for just under an hour now. Actually smashed my gimbal literally as I was putting the camera into it when I was starting. Or before I was starting. And I'm still using an Osmo 4 from DJI. I love the thing. I never did upgrade. But the metal or whatever it's made of is so malleable, if that's the right word, where it just bends. It's the second time it's happened. And you can easily bend it back with any, pliers or any makeshift tool. But it looks deformed after. And doesn't seem to hold everything perfectly, so hopefully we're all right. But I'm just glad to be out. It wasn't supposed to be nice today again. This is happening all the time this year, where I watch the weather on the app and then woke up this morning. I've been watching it for days, and blue skies. So I said, all right, well, let's get out. Oh, there's our hot air balloon thing again. Off in the distance. Mark Binsett, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. He's going to be here in August again. We met up a couple of summers ago. I actually, I don't want to jinx myself, so I shouldn't say anything, but we'll take a chance and pray for good news. But I haven't been working for a long time, and I didn't say that to anybody, or almost nobody, since the end of November. Didn't find out I wasn't going to be working until January though, so quite a way to hit the wall at full speed. So I've been looking around, making calls and everything else, and I might finally, actually, just as of the last week, have something coming up. So I'll be working, but that means for the summer it'll be probation time, right? When you have a real job, you have restrictions. No days off, no playing around with hours and stuff like that. I'll be happy to work, but it'll be a different lifestyle. So whether or not I'm going to be around or be able to be around, I'm unsure. It's pretty much a Monday to Friday, almost 9 to 5 type gig. But I'll be traveling, so I won't be in Niagara Falls all the time. But we'll see. Mark Binsett, if I remember right, he lives in Windsor. And his family comes to visit Niagara every year. It really is a wonderful place to visit. You can see they're doing the last minute touches here and getting this all ready for May. Not this weekend, the following weekend. We have the Victoria Day weekend, which is, isn't it a week early from Memorial Day? I think, unless this year's different. I think it's always a week early. And that's when this place is going to explode with tourists and everything else. Oh, 5 weeks vacation, yeah. I haven't had a real job in a long time, but my understanding is it's not going to be terrible. I was working with a friend of mine. We do real work, but it's, not as strict as a regular thing. I'm going to be working maybe with a big company and all this. So there's no talk of vacations and time off and that kind of thing, not for a while, as far as I know. I won't know until I really start, but I don't mind working. Look, here's our friend over here. Say hi. I'm trying to tell him to wave, but he doesn't want to. Look. You got fans all focused on you right now. Those guys walk around all over the place all the time. So when you're driving through Niagara Falls, it is not uncommon to see any number of geese just strolling across the road. I'm sure it's confusing to people who don't live here. You know, why on earth is this happening? But you gotta let them go. I don't know if you can see how many, I think it's seagulls that are all over the place here. I don't know. Doesn't look very good. Why do they look like they want to circle me? As long as they're not, it's not crows, is it? What is that? Not hawks? What am I thinking of? We're walking right through the mist. You can see how wet it is. It's not raining. That's the mist coming off the falls today. It's not very windy, but that's always happening. Timothy Wright. Yeah, the authentic A's. There was snow just up until a couple weeks ago when I would come through here and walk by the American Falls over there. I think it's up to even 2 or 3 weeks ago at the latest was ice and snow and everything. You have to let me know if the lens is all gummed up. I'll wipe it off in a few minutes. My glasses are soaked. I always forget that it's cooler down here too than the rest of the city. So if it says it's going to be 16 degrees, it's actually 14. Henry Leslie, Vermont, good to see you in the house. Algonquin Park, why don't I remember where it is? I think it's farther north than I always remember, is it? Lori Jean, good to see you in the house. Oh, this is, yeah, I'm doing a vertical live stream today. Once in a while, I still do a horizontal one. But the way that these vertical streams work, as much as it doesn't make sense the way I'm going to describe it, they show these vertical live streams to people who are watching YouTube Shorts. So it's possible to get a little bit of a different audience coming in. It's really good sometimes for subscribers. I haven't had luck with it, but I keep trying because eventually the algorithm should kind of pick it up and push it out a little bit. Yeah, Osmo 4, same one I've had for many years. I never bothered upgrading because I actually love it. I just got a sponsor email today for a monopod, so I might do that. We'll see. Kristen has an Osmo 5. I'm not sure if she's actually used it. I forget. Closer to Huntsville. Yeah, I haven't been very far northwest or even east for a long time. during the summers, occasionally we'll take a rent a cottage. Let's say a few friends really do. It's not me, it's them. But then I just go with them in closer to Rice Lake, which is northeast on the way towards Peterborough. I smashed my gimbal right when we started. I feel like it's shaking. Is the video shaky today? This is what I was talking about the other day when I was here. There was a kid jumped right up onto these rocks here. It looked like the scariest thing ever. Like, for sure they're in danger. But you see there's several feet of this grassy area before the cliff. It doesn't go all the way down to the end over there. That's the Horseshoe Falls. But still scary to watch, you know. That dog's okay right there, but that hot air balloon is something else. Yeah, gimbal took a few seconds for me to understand. I like to think I'm tech savvy and kind of get gadgets and electronics and stuff, but I just couldn't understand the magic behind how does it hold the phone without me doing anything. I don't have to tell it, and it holds it perfectly straight. And there's magnets and motors and all this, and it's almost like the first day that I ever, when I bought a computer, it was 100 years ago, but when I bought a computer that had Wi-Fi, and I couldn't believe that I could like walk down the stairs in the house and still be downloading. I was like, oh God, look at me go. And gimbal to me feels like that kind of magic. Even after using it for years, I'm still kind of amazed. But somebody figured this out. And then Mark Vincent will be here at the end of the month. Makeup Mom and Son, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Even though I'm taking the same route I always do, we'll do something barely slightly different. So I'll go over to Clifton Hill, we'll walk up, but then we'll go back over and come down another street that I almost never take. You can see it's starting to feel a lot closer to summer now. Not everybody's all bundled up the way they would be in winter. I'm wearing a sweater today, but as long as you're walking, it's warm enough. It's almost my favorite temperature, actually. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I got out for this live stream too, because if I find my days getting a little more full, I may not be able to get out as often. We've been doing almost once a week lately. Not quite as beautiful a scene when the sun is hidden, but still, if you're gonna go for a walk, why wouldn't you come here? Barely takes minutes from where we live. Looks different almost every week that we're here now. Yellow shirt dad, good to see you in the house. It's Gene. He brings us the joke of the day, usually a couple times a week on his channel. Lots of people doing selfies and filming, and I've wondered about this when it comes to the signal cutting off a little bit. When it's very busy here, I assume that it's just so many people are pounding the internet, where we didn't have that 5 years ago, right? People would take pictures and things like that, but not everybody would be live. People go live just for a few seconds now. Ace Flaw 1, Andy, good to see you in the house. Little Frenchie in Big Texas, good to have you here. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody. Because of the signal cutting off, I'm going to walk a different way today too. Hidden Jackpots, good to see you here. Thanks for coming in. Flowers are starting to bloom now. I don't even think we saw those last week. Obviously it's going to look really nice here very soon. It's always nice, but you know what I mean. It's the Rainbow Bridge over there, where we go to visit our American friends. We stopped at the casino on the way. We Go Places Tours, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. It'll obviously be much busier here on the weekends, but being Wednesday night, just a few people out. Still having fun though. I'm probably making TikTok videos. That's nice. A lot of people were waiting, let them finish their dance. Oh, look at this. Wow. That for sure wasn't there last week. That's really beautiful. Wow. Zipline's not running right now. I wouldn't be surprised because it's not busy today, right? And that'll be running on the weekend, I'm sure. Right on the first level there is where I filmed the fireworks. So if you ever see the fireworks videos here, that's the magic spot right there. I always lose signal when I walk that way, so we'll go around. You can see the huge Ferris wheel behind that tree. We're heading that way. That's where all the action is. I love Niagara Falls. It is beautiful here. Yeah, We Go Places Tours. I live here now. I was born, raised, grew up in Toronto, but I've been officially living in Niagara Falls for close to 9 years. I've been through here hundreds of times though, obviously, to go across the border and everything. I've been to the States maybe somewhere between 150 and 200 times. Not lately though, not in the last 5 years or a little bit longer. But I was working in Toronto a lot of the time over the last many years, but now I'm just here. But I love it. No such thing as traffic either. Imagine a city as nice as this with 100 million things to do and no traffic. Of course, around here it'd be busy, you know, but nobody's driving here. You park in one of the lots and everybody's walking around here. See how they take care of the place. So look at that, all fresh pavement, fresh everything here. I think they do it every year. Yeah, when I started live streaming here, first 10 streams probably broke. And I know I have tenacity and perseverance at times, but I refuse to stop. I literally had a conversation with God. I probably raised my voice a little bit and said, you can stop me as much as you want. I will not stop trying this until it works. Finally, someday, I don't remember when, it just worked. Like I said, we can lose signal, but I always find it's right there. More lookout spots and everything. It's beautiful to be able to look, especially at the American Falls there, but right up until you get to the zip line. So I don't know if that's just too far away from cell towers or too many people filming or what it is, but we'll avoid that for now. Thank you, Rushing Wind Mountain, and I am Betty J. Gathers. Good to see you both here. People call this street, Clifton Hill, a mini Las Vegas. Family friendly though, of course. You get an idea of where we are. Speaking of sunset, hasn't disappeared yet. It won't be gone until 8:30 or close to it. Where I am, it's what is it, probably 7:15 or something now, 7:30. Oh, was Jason gonna drop a premiere too? I probably missed something from him. I just saw my notification. I use a separate phone so I can read the chat if I need to. I tried hooking up Streamlabs again on the phone. Every time I try this thing, they keep upgrading, like, or changing things, so it doesn't want to hook into streams the way it used to. I might have to start my procedure over. I'm using the YouTube app again. Yeah, spring is nice in the falls. This is the springiest that it's looked, because we now have flowers. These weren't here just days ago. Unless I'm wrong, we got to go back and look. But I'm quite certain that this wasn't here because I kept talking about it. The flowers will be blooming soon, but you see what I mean? As a matter of fact, we'll jaywalk a little bit here and I'll show you something that I usually don't bother with because there's not much to see. But this is an area, Kristen knows far better than me. Anybody who's been here or lived here might know better than me exactly what they do here. I'm assuming presentations, and you could almost do a concert here. I don't know if they do. But look at this, eh?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Oh,
Oh, the gimbal, right? So it holds the phone?
wow.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You want to say hi?
Lee.
Hey.
Hi.
What's your name?
My name is Andy.
Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few people watching right now, but I wanted to show them the flowers. It's beautiful here, right?
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So how many followers you can go live?
There are a lot of people who have a lot more than me.
Yeah.
You could do it once. You could do it right away. A lot of people will say you have to have 50 or 100 subscribers on a channel. Then you can go live.
Yeah.
But
So when we talk, they can.
yeah, they hear everything.
They hear everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few people here chatting in the chat. Oh, look, hello, Andy. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice, nice. What did you use? TikTok.
Oh, I use YouTube because I've been doing it for many years.
Oh.
But TikTok, yeah, you can do too, and Instagram and Facebook and everything.
Yeah. So how many videos you post every day?
I post a few. I don't think I have a card on me or anything like that. I post videos occasionally. But live streaming I try to do once a week lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been at it for many years. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. Nice. Oh, this two
Yes,
stick.
that's right. So one of these is a stand.
Yeah.
You'll see,
Wow,
so it pops,
good
so it's got its remote control, and it stands all the way to the ground. And then I can use it, you know, if you got to put the phone down
Yeah. Yeah.
or something, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So this like
This is the gimbal
gimbal.
from DJI. Yeah.
DJI. Yeah. Yeah. Gimbal. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Nice to meet you,
Okay,
Andy.
me
Okay.
too.
My name is Kevin K.
Kevin K.
Yeah,
nice
if you
to
look
meet
at it on YouTube, you'll find it right
Oh,
there.
well,
Yeah.
let me check.
Yeah, pardon me. I'll show you guys the rest of the place. Andy's gonna
What's
subscribe. Kevin,
the name?
Kevin,
VIN
Kaye.
KAYE.
Yeah. There it is.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll subscribe for you. There you go.
Wow.
New subscriber right there.
10,000
Yeah.
subscribers.
I've
Wow,
had
good
10,000
you.
for about 2 years though.
I'm
I don't do
gonna-
enough work.
Yeah. I think that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you
Good
very
stuff.
much.
Thanks, Andy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, when I started this, it was funny because I was walking across the street and a couple kids were like, "Oh, how many subscribers do you have?" And I was like, "Oh, 1,000." Like, no. Not exactly Mr. Beast or PewDiePie here, but that's okay. And yeah, I was streaming quite often for a while there, and then I really laid off. I got another channel that I focus on, working on more YouTube stuff. Sorry, our signal cut out there for a second, but hopefully we're okay. I'll wait this one out. Yeah, I should do a better job. I mean, I always should have done a better, like saying hello to people, or at least like gesturing and waving to see if people will talk. I really don't do it. I always feel like I'm disturbing people and this and that, but a lot of people look. I think it was Two Pineapples, Lou. That's another YouTube channel, obviously a longtime friend. He pointed out to me though, he said what happens is lots of us are by ourselves. You know, I'm just walking around by myself today. But if somebody else was with me, they would notice a lot of people looking afterwards, like looking at your back, like not having interest while you're walking by, but then saying, "Oh, what was that guy doing?" Right? Probably get a lot more retention and maybe even subscribers by doing more of that, but more of this will be open on the weekends. The street of fun, they say. That's right. You can see how things changed slightly over the years too. I always talk about the Harley Davidson store that was here It's not overly interesting to me personally, but I know how interesting it is to a lot of people, so I mention it. And then I managed to do a stream here. One of the marketing executives came to help us with that. He actually did the video, I just filmed it, but we got a whole look through that place. I imagine somebody saying, but Kevin, you keep telling everybody you're older than they think you are. Why don't you have more money than this? Yeah, because it went to the arcades when I was a kid. My dear goodness, the quarters I spent, it is heartbreaking to even think about. And there's our famous candy shop. They make fudge here, but we haven't caught them doing it this year yet. Lots of fudge on the counter back there. For Niagara Falls, I have favorite restaurants, let's say. So there's a place on Lundy's Lane called Doc McGilligan's. It's just an Irish pub, but they do a perfect job. Staff is happy. Been there many times, dozens of times. But there's another restaurant also on Lundy's Lane, Italian place, and Kristen and I go there for anniversaries and things, called Carpaccio's. They also do like a perfect job all the time, but I'm happy because we only go there once a year, sometimes twice. Manager remembers us, and it's a nice place. As for simple places and things like that, I don't know, I seem to like being here. Like meaning Clifton Hill, Niagara Falls. Clifton Hill's a little too energetic for my taste these days, but I like being around it. I love going to like casinos and things. Not that I play, I'm just mesmerized by the action and the money. Whenever at like a house party or a gathering, I always tend to be like a bartender. Far more interested in making sure everybody's happy, taken care of, and all that stuff than worrying about anything else. But some of that probably comes from working in bars and nightclubs and everything my whole life. Enormous gift shop. So you can obviously spend as much as you want there. A lot of really cool themed ideas around here, like this golf course, this miniature golf. Miniature golf's fun always, right? But that volcano in behind the dinosaur there, I don't know if it's every 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but it actually explodes. It's almost like an eruption. Fire shoots out the top. It's really cool to see, but they don't turn it on until May, I guess. I've asked them repeatedly when I've been streaming, and they haven't had it on yet. A little more action here, though. I guess because the golf or the go-karts are running. And they say it every time, but nobody's going hungry on this street. Only other thing you got to watch is the bees around the garbage can. Wasps or whatever. I don't like them. And apparently they don't like me either. Imagine the money you'd make just having the vending contract down here. I looked at, I keep mentioning this lately, but I looked at real estate. I'm always window shopping. No business thinking about even trying to buy anything, but I look anyway. It's $50 a square foot down here. You divide that over the year and add all the other fees and taxes. But, oh. And then there's obviously a mix of franchises and mom and pop shops. This street goes on for another block or two that way. There's more restaurants, gift shops, and everything else in between everything here. And then this street pretty much extends almost right through the city in a roundabout sort of way. So we'll walk this way today, a little bit different from what we do every other time we're here. The Stock Explorer, good to see you in the house. Yeah, it doesn't cost anything to look, that's right. Garbage bees, dump bees, yeah. Jersey loves Steph, good to see you in the house, thanks for being here. Chuck's Roadhouse, yeah, apparently they're trying to put up 100 more of those things. My friends and I go all the time. They got it right because they just make their meals and everything barely cheaper than everybody else. So of all the restaurants like that, if you look at this Montana's across the street here, or Kelsey's on the corner there, same idea, same food basically, but just a little bit cheaper. For two people to go to dinner at Chuck's, it is almost impossible, even with drinks, to spend more than $100. Rare. All of them are busy now too. They really got their name out. Oh, I've been streaming a bit. Jersey loves Steph. I've been trying to get out once a week lately. Today was a surprise. They're all a surprise. I watch the weather and I'm praying for a nice day and it changes, so I don't know. So otherwise I would put the streams in advance. But today was, oh, I guess I better go do one in case I can't do it again for a few days. Yeah, videos I'm slacking. No excuse. I've actually been occupying my time with minor obsession over crypto and decentralized finance now. So I'm on that probably an hour, sometimes 2 hours a day. Learning. But it's incredible the different ways you can make money. Not financial advice, just saying. Yeah, it's just an excuse for me, but it's tough juggling life and, you know, different things you got to do to try to keep family obligations and everything else afloat and make videos. You got to hand it to some of the people here in the chat. Host like Scratch and Pete every week without fail, on schedule for 4 years, more than 4 years now. Canadian Family Life dropping videos I don't know how many times a week, 2 minimum, 3 sometimes. Stock Explorer is a hard worker. A lot of the people who come in the chat here are people I've now over years developed friendships with from different channels and everything else. Oh, this guy's not happy today. That is not nice. And you know, you come to learn things about people. Nora's a hard worker, but they still slip in a few live streams a week, usually. Anybody who can, you know, get this done consistently, gotta hand it to them for real. I'll give you another excuse anyway, but a lot of things in my personal life changed all at once. All good, all positive if you want to look at it that way. But it's like 3 things happened at once. And it felt like it's an eternity getting there. But now that it's here, I've had the hardest time adjusting. And it's just excuses, like I said, where, you know, life is so different, let's say. Chuck's is around the corner here, actually. There's the Skylon Tower. We do love that place. Like, we've been there twice. If I remember right, for dinner. They always do a spectacular job as well. That's more like $200 for dinner. Keep in mind, I'm talking Canadian dollars. So, 150 US. But, you know, worth the experience. The restaurant on top rotates, takes 90 minutes. You get a view of the city and the falls. And New York, it's like New York State, it's something else. A lot of us are trying to figure out how long Hooters is gonna hang on for. We got one of these here. It just doesn't seem to be thriving like it did back in the day. I passed the street I was going to walk down, or I think it's around the corner here. I never go this way. It's a different route than usual. For all the time I've lived here, I still rely on GPS or Kristen to tell me where everything is. I got my few spots, right? There's Chuck's right across the street there. It's that restaurant we're talking about. They do their beer specials and everything, but I barely drink now. Liver guy says don't drink at all, so I keep it to a minimum. After 9 o'clock, they got apps for half price, right? So let's say they're going to charge you, I don't know, I don't even know how much it is, $12, $13, $14 for a quesadilla, right? That's enough really for 2 people. 2 apps in that place is still enough food to replace almost 2 light meals. You know, if you're not going to overdo it. They have specials on different nights. Was a surf and turf there. I don't eat it, but I understand that people like it. Lobster and steak for like $25. That's not likely easy to find. And then they got like ribbon wing day. I think it's $15 for half a rack and a quarter chicken or something like that. Oh, and when the Leafs are playing, yeah. Mom of 4 boys, good to see you here. Oh, Mother's Day. Actually, yeah, we're going to do Mother's Day. But the number of people, it's not for bad reason. I know how it sounds. But the number of people who are going to be together for Mother's Day and Father's Day and that kind of thing is shrinking. The kids are getting older. The older folks are getting also older, but they have everything they need now, so they don't come out for that kind of thing anymore. But we'll probably do a small thing. My sister, Kristen, of course, and we'll see who else out of the younger generation could join us. Thank you. Hidden Jackpots, thank you very much. Yeah, thanks everybody for being here too. it makes these walks, I don't know why I just won't go out and walk, you know, but it makes it so much better for me when everybody's here keeping me company. Pete and Betty and Canadian Family Life, they all know I don't mind telling the same stories 100 times. I joke all the time, boy can I talk. Most of you know that already. I'm actually trying to cut it down too. Had somebody in a stream one day think, you know, you don't have to talk all the time. Like, yeah, you're right actually. We've stayed in a lot of these hotels. Another story that I tell all the time. In the fall, they have a promotion, and it's called Sleep Cheap Charities Reap. And what they do, the hotels give up primo rooms, like hot tubs and everything else, suites, for like $75. I don't know if it's only for locals or what, but we try to get at least one every year. But you see all the, you know, magnificent looking views there must be in these hotel rooms. We've been lucky to have quite a few over these years now. This is nice to see. I'll show you around the corner here, the Skylon Tower. They got so many flags out front. Always heartwarming to me to see the Canadian and American flag together. It's common on the bridges, obviously. And you'll notice the elevators on the Skylon Tower are outside of the structure, not like the CN Tower in Toronto, where they're inside, encased in glass. You can barely see the one that's going up the side over there. Yeah, a passport you have to have. I haven't had one in a long time. There goes the elevator. We'll watch this thing go to the top and then I'll keep moving. I used to have this thing that they discontinued. I thought it was the best thing. It was called an enhanced driver's license, EDL. So it had an NFC chip in it or whatever, and you could cross the border by land or by sea without a passport with this license. Not that it matters, like, what, you know, why don't you just get a passport, right? But I loved it, and it sped things up and everything else. But they had so little interest in it that they discontinued it. And then the last time they said, if you're, you know, you lose your license or you got to get it renewed or anything, that's it, we're taking it. And they took it, and that's it. But I'll probably aiming to get a passport, I don't know, let's say this year, but looking more like next year. We got a trip that we're not quite planning. It's just an idea. Whether we can get anywhere else before or after, we'll see. But we're hoping to do Las Vegas, which I've never been to. Kristen's been there, but I haven't. So it might be a bit of a family idea, actually. A couple of milestone birthdays coming up, and that's what they want to do. So I will see. But the second I have that passport, then I'll be happy to cross the border again. We were watching a commercial the other day for Olive Garden, and Kristen was like, look, I miss that so much. You miss what you can't have, right? I love Olive Garden. Italian food's my favorite, always. But that idea of having the tour of Italy, 3 different Italian dishes on one plate, is out of this world. And then I found out that they have 2 now. Northern tour of Italy. My dear goodness. It looks like we're staying for lunch and dinner. And then the girl, Chris and I went for an anniversary. We went over to Seneca Casino Niagara, right in upstate New York there in Niagara Falls. And we're crossing the border. And we dressed. Not crazy, but I like to wear a blazer and maybe jeans or some kind of pants. I don't have to wear suits all the time or anything like that, but you know, I like blazers, let's say. So we're crossing the border. I hand over her passport, my license, whatever, and the girl's like, okay, where are you going? We're like, I go to the casino after. We're going to dinner at Olive Garden. She goes, I think you're a little overdressed for the Olive Garden, wouldn't you say? And we couldn't help but laugh, but I don't know, I haven't been there in probably 20 years, so I thought that was a little bit amusing. Spaghetti lasagna combo. That's out of control. That sounds like a TikTok video to me, or what's it called? What was the YouTube channel that was so big right when we were all starting? Those guys who used to make those ridiculous meals. I can't remember what the channel was called. I'm sure somebody here will remember what I mean. They used to make like lasagnas with hamburgers in them and crazy stuff. Any pasta makes me happy. Spagans, am I saying that right? Spazagna, there you go. Wow, I'm gonna look for that next time I get there. What was the name of the channel where the guys were eating those ridiculous things? I feel like they had a yellow logo, but I can't remember. Actually, we want to try this Italian restaurant on the side here, Corso. We haven't been there. Probably the Stock Explorer, but I can't remember. It's not like I didn't watch it all, you know, like you just, some of the big channels, you just know when somebody mentions it. You might have seen a video or two. It was ridiculous, the huge meals they used to make, and I just can't remember the name of it. I'll remember it the second we're off the stream, unless somebody remembers it now. Oh, Cybertruck. I wonder how long that's going to be exciting for. You know, where like Cybertruck goes by and you're like, oh, cool. Or if you don't like them or just feel like hating Elon Musk for no reason at all, then obviously you have a different idea, but... What is that? Stock Explorer? Patina, is that how you pronounce that? I don't know what that is, to be honest with you. All that fluff and stuff from Australia. Good to see you in the house. This is that street a couple weeks ago. I know a couple of you here were here. I walked up the street instead of down the street. Oh, and I huffed and puffed my way all the way up it. Similarly to how I'm huffing and puffing all the way down. That's why I went up Clifton Hill today. I have to start getting some exercise because probably down to a week and a half. And then life is going to change, and I'm going to have to be a lot more active than I've been for the last many months. But I have been able to watch a lot more YouTube videos from everybody and hang out in streams and premieres and stuff than I have like ever before. So at least that's a positive. Give you an idea of where we are. There's Skylon Tower right there. I didn't know you could get there to that from here. Like, it makes sense. I just never would have considered it. But there's obviously the sign right here. I walked by it 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. Must have, unless I said something and I don't remember. Yeah, I know it's 14 Celsius right now. It could be 13 by now or something, but around there. So that's 28 plus 32, so 60, I guess, ish, Fahrenheit. Yeah, why didn't I realize this? I was looking right at it because I was looking at the theater too, you see? See, look at this. Kristen will like this. Are those hydrangeas? I wouldn't have ever even known what they were, except for it's her favorite. I don't know if these are hydrangeas, though. I think not. You have to let me know if somebody in the chat knows better than me. They look like it from far, but I have a feeling I'm wrong. Bradford pear tree. The Stock Explorer has another channel called Tropical Buzz, and they actually educate about plant life. So if anybody would know, the Stock Explorer would know. We're walking right down in front of the falls again. Oh, there's 2 pineapples. We were talking about you behind your back a few minutes ago. His channel's on fire right now, my goodness. 2 Pineapples has been with us from the beginning, obviously. So we're talking about 5 years, close to it. And he is in Hawaii with his wife. And they have a channel that has just done extremely well. Got a few videos lately into the 150,000. There you go. Oh, Lou, I shouldn't keep saying this. I don't believe in very much, but I am still terrified of jinx and things like that. So while I say I don't believe in much, I like to believe that anything is possible. So therefore, I try to keep calm at times. So I haven't told Lou that yet because we were just talking the other day. Probably the day after we spoke, I got a line on a full-time gig. Nothing like as elaborate as what he's doing. No executive position or any of that kind of thing. I'm going to have to go and work for a living, but it won't be terrible. But we'll see. I'll have official word in the next day or two, and then I'll be on right after hour-long weekend, which is next week. Yeah, it is actually good news. I'll be happy to work. I literally, after 5 months, I've never been in this position before, but I'll just be happy to work. I actually like to work. It might be sick and twisted, but if somebody was to say, what would you do if you won the lottery? Like the $70 million lottery, because ours are smaller in Canada. But I would, of course, take a cruise and then start a company. Because that's actually what I want. And the gig comes from a friend of a friend, so won't be as strict as walking into a unknown scenario. I've said to people for the longest time, you know, if you happen to be looking for a job and you're applying for things or spreading the word of this and that, you know what you're signing up for when you start working in places. So if you go and work at Wendy's or Burger King, let's just say, life doesn't seem as hectic as if you're working at McDonald's, which is non-stop. I actually worked at Wendy's for half a shift. I told them to get lost. But that was forever ago. The world was different then, and I used to just decide, I'm kind of bored on Saturday, maybe I'll get a job. I'll go work somewhere for 4 hours a week. And I've never had less than 2 jobs until now. But you know what you're signing up for, you know what I mean? So in Canada, we have the famous Tim Hortons that we all talk about. Reminds me of Dunkin' Donuts, let's just say. We have Starbucks too and this and that. But that might be a better example. If you sign up to work at Starbucks, you're not living the same life as working at Tim Hortons or Dunkin' Donuts. You are working and working and working. So you got to hand it to anybody that does, because it's a lot of work. I like to sit behind computer screens, you know what I mean, and have my phone and a tablet going at the same time. Not every job allows that, but what I might be doing might not be so terrible. And I'll use tools, which I could always use getting better at. My first full-time permanent job was working in a bowling alley. I'd worked before, but that was like, okay, now you're working 40 hours a week and permanent. I worked there for too many years, actually. When I got there, they wasn't too long before my boss, the mechanic, said he was going to move on and do something else soon. I said, oh, I want to take your job then, if you're going to go. And he was like, Kevin, listen, man, you are the least mechanically inclined person I've ever met. And it's true. To watch me try to fix those machines with a couple of wrenches, what a disaster. Obviously, I'm much older now. Anybody can hold a drill and probably hold it straight, but I'd do a lot better graphic designing a drill on a computer than actually using one. Look at this. Sun's still out and the moon is out. I'm not watching the time. Oh, we're late. Yeah, Michael's Adventures has a premiere going on right now. So, where's the moon? Can you guys see it? There it is. Yeah, we'll let it go right here. But thank you everybody for hanging out. I'm almost back where I started. It's gonna get soaking wet here from the mist and all that. But thanks everybody for keeping me company again. You can see things are about to turn into night mode here. But I think the last stream I did was at night. So we've got that to see. I'll keep an eye on the weather and try to get out in a few days again. Thanks everyone.